We need a song with this.
Yeah.
Kodak, 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 Kodak. You know, Kodak, 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 Kodak. Oh, bro, that'll go hard. I'm saving that right now so we never lose that. Yo, what up, guys? It's Illis. Welcome back.
Yo, Papi Kodak.
And we're about to show you how we made a song in 4.5 hours. So what I mean by that is we made the beat, we wrote the lyrics, recorded the vocals, and mixed and mastered it all in 4.5 hours. So come with us.
She don't call me Papi, right before the Kodak. Gently started rapping, switched the beat and got my flow back. Never need no time to think, I just need some cognac. They like how I'm rocking at the party, but you know that.
All right, so that first video that you just saw was us finding the first sample that we were actually gonna put in a different song. We were just looking for some kind of Papi, but then that kind of like sparked this whole idea. And I think that's the first concept that I want to share with you is that when you find something that truly inspires you, don't deny yourself or postpone it for later. Like I was lucky that, you know, you were down to work on that beat that day and we were just able to seize the inspiration and just get straight to work. And it led us to, you know, finishing the song rather quickly. So that's where we started. So now we're going to show you how we got some drums in there and like how we found the right samples. All right, you sure you want to go down this rabbit hole?
Yeah. Let's do it. It doesn't have to be like a long song either. Like it could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it'd be Kodak, Kodak, Kodak. Put like a verse on there and call it a day.
Yeah. So we were able to do this one super fast because we wrote the hook pretty much instantaneous, and you know the chorus repeats 3 times, so that's most of the song. So then we just had to write the lyrics for the verses.
Yep, and the rest is history. So let's show them how we got that melody and that bass line in there. So check this out. That's hard. Yeah. Dude, I forgot that we had found that melody and that bass line together, and essentially like the melody was the same exact melody that the bass was playing.
What do you mean is the same melody?
So essentially, because it's playing that there was that melody, the dun, 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 and then later I heard the bass line that was going like dun 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 dun. But you know what? I remember when I heard that. And then we put it in there, it felt like that was building up to something. So it's like almost like we needed like another deeper bass line.
So then what would we add?
So then I just went in there and I cooked up like something manually. So one thing about this song is that we used a lot of samples and a lot of stuff from Splice just to kind of fly through it because we were definitely on a time crunch. We had already done like 2 or 3 songs before that.
Some clean edits.
Yeah. But in this case, I wasn't finding what I was looking for in the like in my Splice library. So I decided to like play something because I had like something very specific in my head. I love that. Spitting for the song. So a quick little trick for anybody who doesn't know this. This is something that I've blessed it. Tony, the owner of the studio, Blacklight Productions. Shout out Blacklight. Shout out Tony, Two-Tone, the Mix God. Essentially, when I was programming those slides, you have to like program how many milliseconds you want that slide to take. So, you know, I don't find milliseconds to be like a very musical thing. You know, So I always had a hard time finding the right one, and I felt like I just had to keep tweaking it until it was perfect. But a trick that Tony taught me was there's 60,000 milliseconds in a minute, right? So BPM is how many beats per minute. And so when you're trying to figure out what your milliseconds on the porta or the slide function is on any instrument, then you just have to take 60,000, divide that by the BPM, and that's how you end up coming up with the right like slide length. So anyway, that's some nerdy ass shit. So we ended up putting some slides on that bass line that I wrote, and then we added some layers because it was like a lot of low end, and I felt like we needed like some bright stuff to make it, yeah, exactly. So we can make it stack up and make it nice and fat, especially because the chorus has to be interesting. Okay, and then right here, we added another melody. This is another one that I made just using one of my VSTs, like some kind of serum preset. But I had found that sample that was under there, and I just felt like we needed to beef up some of the notes that were already there. So I just kind of added a supporting melody behind everything, as well as like a supporting serum patch that supported the supporting melody. So support on support. We are very well supported.
Strong.
All right, so then when we started cooking up this verse, one of the things I used to do all the time when I was first started making beats, and I'm not sure that everybody shares this struggle, but one of the struggles that I had was that I wanted to make something new completely on the verse, on the beat, and I just like never wanted to reuse things. I don't know if I thought that I was like being lazy or like that's like not true musicianship. But then I realized that when you reuse stuff, you add a lot of cohesion to the song, and then the creativity actually comes in how you can reuse it without making it maybe obvious sometimes or maybe boring other times.
Yeah, I did notice it sounded like you reused some stuff.
Yeah.
But it does make it come together real nice because it's already familiar with the track, you know?
Yeah.
Domestic.
Exactly. It's domestic. I like that. Yeah, it's not imported. It's domestic. But to kind of go with that bass line thing that I was saying about having all those, adding layers on top of the bass line for this verse, what I ended up doing was just taking out all of the layers that beefed it up and then just had that low layer. So that way it felt like a more basic version of it. So when the chorus comes back in, it feels like more explosive. All right, so then right here for verse 2, typically what I like to do is I like to have almost a carbon copy of verse 1 as verse 2, but this song is an exception because this song doesn't have a bridge, and most of my songs I try to have a bridge on there, and that's where I give them the taste of something new.
Change it up.
Yeah, because you don't want to bore them with fucking 3 verses of the same shit, you know? So I decided that for this one, I would make verse 2 kind of like the bridge vibe. And introduce some new stuff. So we were looking through some samples and we found an EDM sample. And what I could have done was told myself like, oh no, this isn't reggaeton. This isn't like dembo kind of vibes. And this is like too different. But instead, the room was vibing with it. I was vibing with it. So I just said, fuck it. And why second guess it? So Papi Kodak, you got a full beat right there.
Swag.
How long did that take me?
That took you like 30 minutes.
Did it really?
Not even, no.
That's because I used all samples. I'm usually too proud for that, but we're trying to.
I feel that. I feel
Whip,
that.
whip, whip, whip. I try to like write my own melodies.
So once we finished the beat, we kind of reconnected back to our original inspiration. We started singing the hook that we had written up.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's important too, because if we would have jumped straight into writing the verses, it's like maybe we would have lost sight of what we already had, or like we like it almost feels like we have that momentum, and I think energy is important when you're writing music, and having that like feeling that we're getting closer or staying excited about the idea.
Yep, we kind of worked our way up to the top of the hill, making the beat. Now we're pushing the boulder down, just kind of rolling.
Yeah.
And then making sure that these verses we're about to write go with our hook and our mood that we had when we started this idea.
Exactly.
So I remember we were worried about stealing from the song Papi Kodak. If you haven't checked that out, it's Papi Kodak by me, Papi Kodak. So
Banger.
we wanted to make sure this was original and how we could do that to make it its own thing without, take it too much from that banger already.
Where did we land on that it was going to be different? Because I guess one's about a girl, she gonna call me Papi, right? Wait, so what are the verses of that song about?
Well, we got kind of the origins of Papi Kodak, like starting with Chuck Moe and Reggie Robb and, freestyling in the car. And this song's kind of more of Kodak's already on stage, Papi Kodak's already in the club, he's performing, he's there already, and it's just a hype song for a show.
I think that was a good distinction that we made there, because like we could have ended up in that territory where we were just talking about the same shit on another song,
And this has more of that club feel to it.
Yeah, and it's definitely a rap song. Papi Kodak is a rap song. Even though we're rapping on this one, this is more like a club. I don't know what you call it. It's like definitely like some Latin vibes.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's got some EDM, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like,
Kind of wondering where.
I don't want to steal the "she gonna call me Papi." But I kind of like got her in the bed like Papi.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kodak,
Yeah.
Kodak. But maybe that's already stealing the Papi Kodak.
No,
thing.
it's not.
Different forms.
And that's okay. We could steal the Papi Kodak thing.
And that reminds me, because at that moment, it was almost like we were like thinking that this song was just straight up about fucking or something.
Yeah,
We were like,
it was hard to keep it clean without using cuss words.
Yeah.
We had to kind of check on that.
Yeah, that was a challenge. We were like, and I think we kept wanting to add cuss words, and we were like, nah, why cuss
Because then it
now?
changes the whole song.
Yeah. And the whole appeal.
Yes.
Like the whole, like now this can't be on the radio.
Yeah,
It'll
we
be
can't
played
just
all the
send it
time.
in the radio. We got to make a clean version.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of good decisions were made during that time. But that bed was fucking legendary. If that's what we want to do, should I get it like, of a bed?
Yeah, you know the bed freak in there?
Yeah.
That's nice. Dude, I put one of those in my song because my chair, when I rap back and forth, it creaks too.
Yeah.
So I live recorded it and put it in one of my songs.
Dude, I've done the same thing with the chair.
Yeah.
While I was
dude.
rocking out,
Yeah,
I got me rocking out to the
just, like,
song.
rocking out. I was like, ooh, it's kind of lit.
I was like, if I'm rocking now and people can hear me rocking now, maybe they'll rock out too.
Yeah.
What do you remember about this? Because what I remember is that we spent like about 20 minutes, damn near. It felt like 20 minutes, like a long time, just trying to make sure that the very beginning of that verse was super slapping.
Yeah, we did. We were thinking of what it was going to be, what it was going to talk about lyrically, and then the flow was
Yeah.
important too, because we had to, kind of switch up the flow to grab the attention from the audience.
Yeah, and make it fun. Exactly. Yeah. And I remember we threw each like 3 or 4 ideas out before we landed on this one. And then it was like, for those of you who maybe are new to collaborating, one of the things that I used to, do is I used to get stuck on an idea. I'm like, oh, but this idea is so good. And then like I worry about arguing with, my collaborator. Like, no, but listen, this is why this idea was good. But like, what you and I have learned to do, and I didn't really show it much in our clips, but is that once we had something that we both got excited about, like we knew that was the move. And then, if you threw something out and I was like, like not necessarily like I was shooting it down, but like you could tell that I
weren't
was
hyped about it.
Yeah.
Then we just kind of keep throwing stuff out until we see we're both excited about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not sure too if I say it, and then I'm looking for your reaction to see, is this good or something else can be better. We don't want anything subpar.
Exactly. And I think that's a good thing about like an important thing to note about collaboration is that we got to make sure that both of us are excited. I mean, you're the artist, and at the end of the day, the producer and engineer has to respect that you have to be the one to be the face of the art, But at the same time, even though you're paying somebody or hiring somebody sometimes, you got to make sure that they're excited too, because that's how they're going to give you their best work, know? And that goes for tattoo artists. That goes, I'm sure, for like even certain hairstylists. That's why people specialize in things.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a quality control check too when you're doing the collab.
Yeah. If it pleases 2 ears, then it's more probable to please, 4 ears.
Yeah.
If it pleases 4 ears, it's more probable to please 1,000 ears.
What if it pull up to the function at the beginning? Yeah. Like we're at a party.
Yeah.
Pull to the function. Gotta move it in the function.
Good tip as an artist too, when you get something written down that you think's fire, is to take a voice memo. It's kind of a checkpoint, because you might forget it later, or if you come back to it another day, especially, I find myself reading it off of what I've wrote down, but like, why is this not flowing to the beat? And it's because the exact way you're saying it matters. So that voice memo lets you hear how you articulate that verse, as well as all the words, are recorded.
Pull up to the function, Papi got the mommies and their panties all bunching. Shawty's all crushing, 69 2 times, I'ma start munching. 138 girls looking like a luncheon. Happy Halloween, I see a lot of pumpkins. She a real one, cause when her shift done, she got a friend who wanna punch in. Bed rockin', no jumping. She got the super soaker pumping. Papi Kodak.
Ain't that something?
Now, what's my name? Because we already know it. I'm not doing the pre-chorus.
So after we laid down that voice memo, I guess we decided to triple check that chorus, because we pretty much had it written, but we wanted just to like lock that in since it was like low hanging fruit and we knew that we kept getting excited about it. So might as well knock that out since we would only have one verse after that. And this is where we wrote that "What's my name" in the middle of it, which I think honestly it's my favorite part of the chorus, because I feel like, especially when I saw that video of you performing it, and you're fucking yelling that shit, bro. What's my name? I feel like that's telling the crowd, what the fuck is my
it's
name?
the perfect answering point, so I can just say that and then let the crowd get involved in saying the Kodak, 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 and then it saves me breath because I don't have to say all of it, and it gets us more engaged, so they like the song better.
Yeah, and that brings me to the thought. You remember that song, "Turn It Up," which I don't know. That's not going to be dropping before this, is it?
Not before this, but soon.
So all right, here's a sneak preview to some unreleased. So if you're tuning in, you get to find out about some unreleased Papi Kodak stuff here. But I was gonna say that song, him and I, like Papi Kodak and I, had this like visual. If you've ever been to Blacklight, there's a window in Studio B, and we were like visualizing the crowd out, like we were watching the crowd from Studio B. And I think that's a very important thing to do with your music.
A good strategy.
Yeah, it's like, and it would helped us figure this out. Was like, how is the crowd gonna react to this when we're writing a song? Cool. So that was pretty cool. And then I guess after that, we just had to write the second verse.
Let me see your camel toe. If you don't, you gotta go. Girl, this out, you gotta love.
So verse 2, wanted to change up the flow a little bit, still keep the same theme from verse 1, but something different. So we come in with the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, kind of a way to can engage with the crowd, like point around. Let me see your camel toe. Want to say something outlandish.
That shit is funny, bro.
Still fits with there. If you don't, you gotta go. So it's like, I don't got time to mess around. This is how quick it took me to record my vocals. No boring shit here.
The show. Papi Kodak.
Hell yeah, bro. Love that. Dude, and then when you added that ad lib, Papi Kodak, I was like, oh, I mean, it's just a signature thing. But then later when I listened to the song, I'm like, well, he's saying that because, like, you know, she called me Papi Kodak.
It's finally an answer at the end.
Yeah,
That
you
makes
finally get it
sense.
all together.
Yeah.
You never say Papi Kodak, and throughout the whole song, you say either
That's right.
there's the Papi or there's a Kodak.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess I'm admitting that it took me forever to make that connection. in my
Yeah,
head.
to put them together.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was cool. So after that, I mean, we just added some little effects in there, and then we got to the vocal mix.
Yup.
I mean, it's just cool that because you know, papi is like such a big thing that like Hispanic people say, that we ended up finding that like perfect, like, oh yeah, papi in there
Yeah.
for the tagline before the chorus.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good sounds were found.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out Splice. Thank you, Splice. Wouldn't have been possible without you. We did it, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
She called me. She called.
Should you name the song She Called Me?
That's what I was thinking. What do you think?
I love that. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So I guess with all that being said, we pretty much just finished the song. We just mixed it down, and then we ended up coming up with the name shortly after that.
Yeah, and when we were writing the lyrics, we were just playing the on repeat, you know, like a loop most of the time on the part we were doing, and just keep trying to write it. And then when we found something, we plug it in, you know, sing this over, and then we get to, okay, this is what needs to come after this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that, and I feel like we ran through the recording pretty quick. I mean, the fact that we did that whole song in 4.5 hours kind of shows that you were like running through the recording like pretty fast. I mean, I would say less than an hour.
Yeah,
It seemed
and
like.
once we knew the lyrics, got it down, but also, you know, just had to make sure I got the jumpiness around too, and the spacing right, you know, even knowing the words.
Yeah. And we had already figured out the intonation of the way you wanted to say everything. So it's not like we were like, oh, can you say it like this? You know, while you were in the booth. It was just like, let's lay it down and see you later.
Let me see your camel toe. If you don't, you gotta go.
I guess that's it, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. You know, Papi Kodak did a metal song one time.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
No way.
Yep. With a Japanese band.
Oh.